So for today, you need an assorted bunch of, if you have magazines are great. Or if you have construction paper works. It's cool to have like an assortment of different types of papers because it'll make your color wheel look more rich. You also need probably a pencil and something to glue down onto. I'm just using a piece of white cardstock. And this is up to you. You may want something to trace if you want to do a color wheel that is round. I have a paper plate, but your color wheel doesn't have to be a circle. You could actually free draw or draw any kind of shape that could work for your color wheel. So it does not have to be a circle. But if you do want it to be a circle and you want it to be a perfect circle, you might want to grab a bowl or something that is round that you can trace. Also, in addition to that, you're going to need glue and scissors. And so I just have little mini glue bottles, but glue sticks work well, any kind of glue. So today, I'm going to switch down to my other camera. Today we're talking about, actually this whole week, we're talking about color. Let's see, is that in focus, Scott?
That's in focus, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we're talking all about color today, and tomorrow we're going to do a project on color, and also Thursday we're going to talk about some color. But today we're just starting with the basics and the color wheel. And if you've ever heard the phrase Roygbiv, Roygbiv is the name of a guy, and he can help you remember the order of the rainbow. And you may have heard of him before, but it's rainbow order. So Roygbiv, his name is that because R-O-Y-G-B-I-V, because each letter in his name stands for a color. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue. The I stands for indigo, which is a pretty color in between blue and violet. So it's in here, on this color wheel, it's named blue violet, but it also has the name indigo, and the V stands for violet.
That's cool.
So Roygbiv can help you remember the order if you've ever wondered what the rainbow order is. So this color wheel is kind of cool because it has the colors, it has so the red, orange, and blue, red, yellow, and blue are considered the primary colors, because those are the colors that if you went to the paint store today and you could only buy 3 tubs of paint, you would want to buy red, yellow, and blue, because with those 3 primary colors, you could make all of the other colors. They're called all the secondary colors. So, but this color wheel has primary colors, red, yellow, blue. It also lists out the secondary colors. And I always like using my fingers to help me remember where the secondary colors are. So if I mix red and yellow, put them together, I get orange. I just bring my fingers together. If I mix blue and yellow, bring my fingers together, makes green. If I mix blue and red, bring them together, they make violet. But what's special about this color wheel is it also has something called tertiary colors, which is the 3rd level of colors. So now it doesn't just have blue and green, but it has blue-green on it. And I know that's a lot of information, and it's okay. You don't have to remember all of it right now. But I'm just holding this up so that you guys get a kind of sense of what the color wheel can look like and all the different kinds of colors on it, so that it's not just red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Today, you're going to be making your own color wheel using magazines. So all we're going to do, we're going to start. Your color wheel does not have to be a circle. It doesn't have to be a round circle. It could be any shape you want. If you want to do a color wheel that is a rainbow shape, you could. If you want to do a color wheel that is like the letter of your name in bold or in bubble letters, you could do that. If you want to do a color wheel that is the shape of an animal, you could do that. The only thing that we have to think about today is the order in which we're going to put the colors on. So in fact, I think I'm going to do a color wheel. I thought I was going to do a round one, but maybe I'm going to do I'm gonna do one that's like a snake.
Lee, I'm sorry to interrupt. I see Soren has his hand raised.
Yeah, Soren.
Can we just like free make our color wheel?
Sure, absolutely. You absolutely can. Yeah, if you like free draw
Can we
it.
just like make it like with crazy colors and not make it in the order of the rainbow?
I guess you can. I mean, it's totally up to you. It's your project. I mean, what we are doing today, Soren, just so you know, is that we are kind of trying to focus on like the order, just so that we can kind of it helps you remember how you can make colors. But we're not mixing paints today, so if you want to do it in any way you can, it's okay. You're the artist. All right. So you're going to freehand draw, or you're going to trace whatever kind of shape you want. Then you're going, what you're going to do is you're going to start to label where the colors are going to go. So using my color wheel, I'm going to put it down next to me over here. I can start, so I'm going to start because red is the first color. So I'm just going to do an R for red, because I know that that's where all of my reddish colors are going to go into. Then I know that after that is Roy, so there's my O. And I'm not going to draw in lines or anything because I don't know exactly how many pieces of each color I'm going to be able to find. After the O is a Y, so this is where all the yellow colors are going to go. Over here is where my G for green, for Roy G. And then I'm going to have my B for all my blues. I for any indigos, anything that's in between blue and violet. And my V is going to be for violet. So once I've kind of laid out where I want my colors to go, then this is where the fun part starts. This is where you can start looking through all of your magazines. And I started a little bit. And all I did was start to cut out little pieces. Let me do that in order. Little pieces of whatever colors I was looking for. So I found some red, I found some oranges, a yellow, green, some blues. This one is kind of like an indigo. It's somewhere in between blue and purple and violet. And I haven't found a violet yet, so I need to keep looking for that. But all I'm doing is I'm taking all of my magazines. So I have an assorted bunch of magazines, some Art in America, some Bloomberg Business Week, Art Center catalog, and I'm gonna go through and find colors. So already right in the cover of this, I see this beautiful red-orange dot. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out. And all you're doing is you're just starting to think about colors and where they should go, because sometimes colors don't end up perfectly. They're not perfectly red, and it's not perfectly orange. So maybe this color, which is kind of a reddish orange, should go somewhere in the middle between these two groups. So sometimes you're gonna have to think about like, well, this color is kind of a little of this, a little greenish, but it's also a little bluish, like this color right here. This is like a teal. And a teal, or almost more like an aquamarine, kind of goes somewhere in between green, because it has a little green in it, and blue, has a little blue in it. So maybe I would put it somewhere in between them. I see Liliana and Heather Rose's question, if you have a magazine. If you have magazines in your home, then yeah, I would go grab them. If you, just because it's kind of helpful to, so we're going on like a color hunt today to make our color wheels. So I'm just looking through, and like this page has a ton of colors, and I'm gonna like try to find some of the colors that I'm missing. Ooh, I like this page. This page definitely has some nice reds. If you don't have any magazines, you can always use whatever you do have. If you have construction paper, you can use that. If you have, if you don't have any paper to cut out, you could always do your color wheel out of colored pencils. You make do with what you have, okay?
Lily has her hand raised.
Yeah, Lily.
So, I was still like getting my supplies and pencil and stuff, so I didn't do all the letters.
Sure. It is Roygbiv. And I'll put the color wheel out for you again. So it goes red, R for red. You see that? R for red. O for orange. Y for yellow. It's a guy, his name is Roy. His middle name, we don't know it, but it starts with a G. G for green. B for blue. I for indigo. And V for violet or purple.
Okay.
Yeah, and right there. And if you want to write out the letter or the actual color words, it's totally up to you if you find that all the letters tricky. But it's whatever you find easiest. But that's the rainbow order. And then you're just kind of going on a magazine hunt or a paper hunt, and you're searching for colors. But this can be a little tricky too, because sometimes colors, like I said before, don't really fit in one or the other, and you have to find the right place for them to go. So you might have to, and if you're ever not sure where a color should fit, you can always put your hand up or ask, and we can hold it up, and I can help you, because it can be a little tricky to figure out where a color should go, because sometimes, especially when you're finding pieces like from magazines and things, the colors they're not, it's not as simple as finding just like a plain old red or a plain old green, a grass green, or like or a sun yellow. Sometimes the colors are a mix of colors, and you have to figure out where on this, it's a spectrum, where on this spectrum they fit. And if you have any questions, just go ahead, raise your hand. You can always ask me. You could write your question down in the comments if you don't want to raise your hand.
Missy has her hand raised.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So I have a question.
Sure.
Like, on this page, it's red feathers.
Ooh.
And so I got, and this was from like a clothes or something. So would this be the first red, or would it be dark reds first?
I think I would start with the dark red first and then go lighter red. But that's totally up to you. I mean, you're just gonna, what we're gonna do is when you have all the colors, when you have like an assortment, you're just gonna start to lay them down, and you're not gonna glue them yet. You're just gonna kind of lay them in like kind of the order that you think they're gonna fit. And then you can kind of see, oh, well, I definitely need more yellows because I only have one yellow. Okay, so you'll start to see like where you're missing colors and where you need more. But you don't have to make the decisions exactly about where to put about where dark versus light should go quite yet. That can happen when you start to like put them on your paper. But that's a good question. That's a really good question. Dark versus light.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dark versus light happens, that's like when you add white to a color, called making a tint. So you make a tint. When you add white to a color, it makes almost like a pastel version of the color, and that's a tint. And when you're adding black to a color, it's called making a shade. So, and that's like, those are totally different elements of color theory, learning about color. It's also kind of fun. I've seen a bunch of people doing color wheels using just things they found around the house, like not paper necessarily, but just like objects from around your house. Doing a color wheel that way.
Soren has his hand raised.
Color wheel. Hi, Soren, what's up?
Do we glue our colors down?
Well, not yet. Right now we're just making piles of our colors. And then when you think you have enough colors, then you can start gluing them down. If you think you have enough, then go for it.
No. I don't have enough.
You don't, or you do?
I don't.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so keep working for a minute. Keep working. See if you can find some more color areas, color swatches. And sometimes the colors can be tricky. Sometimes like this color that I just found, kind of like a green, but it's also kind of like a gray. I'm wondering if it would go somewhere in here. Maybe. Yeah, I see a hand raised.
Soren?
So I just wanted to show the whole class what color I found. I found this, it's kind of small, but this like red striped white.
Ooh, okay. That's cool. So you have to figure out where would that color fit in. Is it more like pinks? So we didn't even talk about pinks. Pinks are what happen when you add white to a color. So they would probably, there would happen when you add white to a red. So you probably would make a pink area near your reds. Yeah, it's kind of fun if you have access to paints. It's really fun to mix your own colors using paints. My favorite part of mixing colors was always giving them names afterwards, was coming up with a name for them. Like we would make up like our own names as if we were like doing like a Crayola, like making our own Crayola colors boxes. Ooh, I found some yellows. That's what I needed. Need some yellows.
Megan says she found the perfect page for red, called the page called the Red Dress Awards.
Oh, that is a good one. That would be a really good one. And the colors that you find, if you like, I found some yellows and the yellows have words in them, that's totally fine. I just cut them down. They're still yellow. So like you can have words and things. It's totally fine.
Missy has her hand raised.
Yeah. Hi, Missy.
So I found this.
Ooh, I see a good green and some good blues in there, for sure. Nice.
And here's Soren.
Soren.
So I just found a perfect name for this color.
What would you call it?
Strike red.
Swipe red. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's a good
stripe
one.
red.
Oh, because it's striped. Yeah, there you go.
I mean
Are
strike. Strike red.
Strike red. Strike
And
red.
I found this color in the magazine.
Oh. Ooh, those are some good colors mixed together right there.
Oh, we'll call it mixed strikes.
Or peppermint. It almost looks like peppermint to me. Peppermint is usually red and white mixed together. Let's see. So as I'm going across, you can just kind of start to see where you're missing colors. The colors I'm definitely missing are purples. I have not found any purples yet, so I got to be on the hunt for any purple colors I can find. And so this can be a mixed media too. So if you find some colors, or if you're missing some colors and you can't find the right ones, you could always use a colored pencil or crayons or any kind of other materials to fill in any places or areas that are missing a color. Oh, there's some nice blues right here. Light blue, pale blue. And sometimes, like I just found a color that I wasn't sure if I was going to use it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like a really pale blue color. So I set it down near my blues, and I realized that it stands out, and it doesn't really work. So I'm not going to use that one. So sometimes you might find colors that you think will work, and then you put them down, and you're like, nope, it's not working in my collage. So what we're doing today is we're actually making a collage. collage is anytime you're like cutting and gluing and pasting. It could be paper, it could be any kind of material, honestly. Make a collage.
There's a hand up, Nissy.
Yeah,
Could this be a blue?
definitely. That definitely looks like a dark blue to me. It could be like going, you know how we talked about indigo? That could be on the more indigo-y side because it's going, it's like a super dark blue. For
Okay.
sure.
So,
Still haven't found any purples. On the hunt for purples. Good, bright orangey red. Yeah, so today it's a lot of hunting. You guys are like, you're like colored detectives.
Lee?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, thank you very much. Jim and I have been paying attention and we followed through, but we used colored pencils today.
Oh, that's
Instead,
beautiful.
And we
That's
forgot to say thanks, Lee, backwards. So
Oh,
you could read
no,
it.
no, it's actually, it's frontwards to me. It only looks backwards on yours when you're,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
I
that's
found
good
that
to know.
out when I was teaching. That came out really nice. I like that you,
Okay.
you use the materials you have.
We had fun. So, but we're going to leave you for right now.
No
And we'll see
worries.
you. We'll see
Yep.
you another day.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully for Wiley.
We will.
Okay,
Thank
sounds
you.
good. It was nice to meet
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Okay.
I finally found some purples.
Yeah, awesome. You did. I have yet to find any purple. Oh, well, found like a pinkish color. That so sometimes if you find any good pinkish colors, they kind of fit with the purples because you get like a fuchsia. Fuchsia is kind of a mix between purple and red with a little bit of white thrown in to make it a little pinker. So I found a fuchsia, which starts to be a little purplish. Ooh, purple. Her dress is purple. So once you think you start to have enough colors, like I'm going to cut out a few more, and I'm going to start to lay them down on my paper, and I can start to see where do I really need to like hunt for? What colors exactly am I looking for now? Some nice green. Ooh, more purple down here. Yes. Okay. That's what I needed. Purples. So take a look at these two purples. Guys, if you have a look at this, so both of these colors are a little bit purplish, but you can tell that this purple has a lot more blue in it, and this purple has a lot more red in it. So when I do my order, I'm going to put the blue, the bluish purple, closer on the spectrum to my blues, and my reddish-y purple closer to the end of my wheel. Actually, if I was doing a real wheel, if I had a circle as opposed to a line like I'm doing, then you see red violet is the color of this. This is almost, if I could like lay it on top of this color right here, it's almost exactly red violet. So it's a mix in between red and purple. So I'm going to put that right there. All right, so I'm not sure what else I need right now, so I'm actually going to start organizing my colors. So I have all the colors I've cut out, and now I'm just going to start trying to take them out and kind of laying them onto my my squiggle that I drew. So I have my reds. And they kind of go into my oranges. These are my red oranges color. These kind of feed into my yellows. Orange. And they go into my yellows. Go into my greens, and already looking at my greens, this green has a lot more yellow in it than this green does. You can see how this green is more like lime green or yellow green. So this green is going to go closer to the yellows than the other green I have. Start to lay down some of my other greens that I have. Oh, this is also like a kind of a limey green. Go in here. Darker greens. Actually, so I don't think these darker greens work. So sometimes when you're working, you might find a color that doesn't work well, and that's totally fine. Just take it out if it doesn't work. Right. think that mine, like I think I actually have enough to cover my whole wheel, or my whole like spectrum right here, my whole color wheel. So now that I have enough and I've kind of laid them down kind of where I think they should go, now is when I can start breaking out that glue and gluing things down. But like I said before, if you have any questions, let me know, okay? If you're unsure about where a color should fit, just say, hey, Lee, where should this color go? Because it can be a little tricky knowing where a color fits in.
Is the turquoise more of a green blue?
Yes, a turquoise would be, yeah, it would go kind of somewhere in between green and blue, exactly.
And then the darker blues, is that where the indigos start to go?
Yes. So the turquoise would kind of go somewhere in like the bluish greenish color.
Okay.
And then when you start getting into darker blues, they go into like blue violet.
Thank
territory.
you.
No problem. But like I said, sometimes there's a color that like when you're laying it down just doesn't work. And sometimes that's because it has too much white or too much black in it. Like it's too much of a tint or it's too much of a shade. And it just doesn't work in the color wheel that you're making. If you were gonna do like a pastel or tint color wheel, then it would work really well. But we're just doing like it's called a full saturation. So full saturation color wheel. And so sometimes a color just doesn't work. And you kind of have to lay everything out to know what will work and what won't work. And sometimes you can just kind of glance at it and you're like, that color, like if it stands out a lot, it just like seems to poke out and like stand out from all the others and doesn't really blend into the rainbow that you've created, then you know that one doesn't work.
Here's Nissy.
Nissy, hey.
I had a question. Does this
Sure.
go in blue and not yellow, blue and purple?
Yes, that would go in indigo for sure. That's like that's a perfect indigo color right there. So that would go in between blue and violet. So for animators, like animators who do actual for cartoonists and animators, most of the time they'll have one person will be the animator and who will be like doing a lot of the drawing, or they'll have a few people, especially if you're working on like a feature length thing, then you have lots of teams of people working together to make the drawings. And then you'll have colorists. So you'll have people whose specific job it is to add in colors. So I'm not sure who that was working on Looney Tunes, but I know in like Disney, for instance, there was a really famous woman colorist and her name was Mary Blair. And if you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, then you've ridden on It's a Small World ride, you would recognize she did the designs for It's a Small World. She also did the colors for Alice in Wonderland. She also did the colors for, I think she worked on Cinderella. And she was known, she's one of the most famous female Disney artists. And one of the few female ones actually, but she was especially known for all of her colors. She was known as like a particularly good colorist. And she has had a good eye for colors. Oop, this one goes this way.
Megan's familiar with Mary Blair.
Yeah, Mary Blair's
really
really
a documentary.
Yeah, I love Mary Blair. Her work is so cool. I really like her work. She had an eye for color. But it's like it's a whole separate field of art, like to be a colorist versus like an animator. Like almost totally different skill sets. cartoonists know that. That's why they have different people working on different parts. I have never seen, Megan, I haven't seen the documentary. I should look it up. It was a documentary on Mary Blair, or just one of Disney that you saw? Called Imagine. Oh yeah, the Imagineering. Okay, I think I did see some of those. That's cool. I don't remember that It's a Small World one though.
She had a showing at the little art gallery that's across from the Orange train station for about a year.
Oh wow.
And they had some really adorable pieces that we went to see. And that's when I first really saw how great she was.
Yeah, she was really amazing. I think she was inducted into the Disney Hall of Fame in like sometime in the 90s. But yeah, I think it's really extra special, especially because, you know, she was a pioneering woman in a time when everybody else who worked at Disney was pretty much a man. So I think her
exactly. They kind of said they ignored her to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but her work is really, really neat. You can just see she had like an intuitive sense of color. She used these really bright, like contrasts in her colors, especially like in Alice in Wonderland, everything's like pink and blue, and actually in Cinderella too. And I know there's other things that she's worked on. I think she worked on Peter Pan, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there were a couple sketches for that.
Yeah, I think she worked on Peter Pan. I have to go back and like look at her site to see what else, but I don't know. I still remember the very first time I went to Disney and saw the It's a Small World and was just fascinated by like how like the architecture of it. It's so neat. Of course, I was an adult when I went to Disney for the first time. If I was a child going to Disney, I probably wouldn't have been what caught my eye. But as an adult going to
Actually, I'm very old, and that's what caught my eye the first time I went as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's cool to know. Yeah. It spans the ages. Kids and adults.
Something so appealing and whimsical about all of the worlds and the color schemes.
Yeah, yeah. And even just like the fact that the outside is like all white and gold, and then like at nighttime they turn on the lights. It's just magical. Very magical. So is anybody on the gluing part yet, or how are we doing?
Thumbs up from Megan.
I agree, Megan. I miss Disneyland too. It'll be back. Don't worry. We just have to get past this. But yeah, I think, and actually I did see something. Disney, they did a live. They're doing like live showings of their of the light show. Yeah, so I think if you go online, you can see like the light show like online, which is pretty cool. Not as good as in person, but it's still like pretty cool that they're posting it online. Does anybody have any other questions about or unsure about where a color should fit in?
Nissy has her hand up.
Yeah, Nissy.
So, I don't know if this goes with orange or yellow.
That looks a little more orangey to me, but the cool thing about this is that you can kind of fit it in between them. So like I had some that were kind of like this piece right here. I don't know if you can see it. It had some oranges and browns almost in it and the yellows. So I just kind of fit it in between where the oranges and the yellows went.
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes it can be kind of tricky. Nissy, have you started laying your pieces down on your color wheel yet?
Yeah, I started laying them down.
So place it down about where you think it should go and see if it looks right. Because it should look like, when you're doing it, it should look like the colors flow, like from one to the other. It's like almost like a rainbow river. I guess that's what mine is, the rainbow river.
I have no purple, so.
I know, purples were really hard to find. If you can't find a color, just grab a colored pencil, a marker, a crayon and add it in, okay?
Okay.
Soren has his hand raised.
Soren.
So I'm done with mine.
Nice.
So
You want to
I
share?
can go with- So I didn't
Oh.
draw anything for it. I didn't draw anything.
That's okay. Tell us what were you
So
what were you
I
thinking
just
when you
found
made it?
pieces and then glued them like randomly everywhere.
Okay. Cool.
To
So
make
you
it
were
look
just kind of
crazy
working on a collage. Say it again, Soren?
What? Oh, so I found colors in the magazine and then I just put the pieces somewhere randomly and I didn't even draw anything.
You know what? You know what's
So
really
it
cool
just
about
turned
that,
out
Soren?
like this.
You,
What?
you know what is that I think it'd be really cool for you to, if you wanted to draw something, you could look at that and turn it into something. Like, to me, it kind of looks like a transformer. What if you like drew on top of it and turned it into something like a robot or something else?
I don't know what I think I might add on, but I don't have like big enough like pieces, and I don't have like the color pieces I want. So
Oh,
technically, I might have to go back and find some more colors. If I
yeah.
add something, I'll raise my digital hand again.
Okay, sounds good. Megan, what's my favorite ride at Disneyland? Oh, that's a tough one. Classics, I mean, I'd have to go with It's a Small World, but I also really liked Galaxy's Edge. All the new rides at Galaxy's Edge are really cool. Ooh, the Matterhorn is really cool too.
I see another hand raised here.
Yeah.
There's one.
Hi, this is Daniela and Emerson. We're new.
Hi.
We joined a little late.
Hi. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
We have to go, but we had so much fun. We were.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Did you guys do those together? I love them. Those are amazing.
We have lots of magazines, so we kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
That looks awesome. Really nice work. Really, really nice work.
Well, we'll be back, but we have to go to another class Zoom. But thank you so much, Lee. This was really fun. We'll be back.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Glad you could join us.
All right.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, if anybody wants to share their work at this point, or if anybody has any other questions, feel free to raise your hand. Feel free to let us know. I'd love to see some works in progress, even if you're not done.
Here's Fiona and Victoria.
Oh yeah, Vienna Victoria. Let's see. Oh
No? Okay.
no, not yet. Oh, maybe that wasn't yet. Oh my goodness! Look how beautiful. That looks, I love it. I love the colors that you're finding. That's an amazing work in progress.
Oh, it's a chaos right now. For everywhere. But it's so much fun.
It is. That's okay. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Really nice job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Here's Sophia.
Hi, Sophia. Hi, Emily.
I haven't glued them on yet, but I want to show you these mountains that I made.
Ooh, oh, that's cool. Are you doing like a 3D pop-up color wheel?
Oh, not really. I just made it.
Oh, that's a cool idea,
It
though.
might be like a world of different colors, and it's supposed to be like a rainbow river and green mountains.
That's really cool. I love this idea of like a pop-up color wheel. What would that look like? That's so neat. It's a very, very interesting idea. Oh, can we go back to Emily?
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Oh, I saw a piece falling off. Awesome. Oh, I see that you've, oh, you're doing a rainbow river like me. Very nice. So you got to find some more colors to fill that in.
Yeah.
Let's see, how's everybody else doing? Liliana Heather Rosa, do you want to? Oh no, maybe she's not sharing yet. She's just cutting out more. Okay. Well, we have about 9 minutes left, so you can keep working on yours. One of the things that I'm going to do is I finished mine pretty quickly, so I'm going to clean it up. So see how the paper is coming off the edge? I flip it over like this, you can see the papers are coming off, so I'm just going to trim them off, make it look clean. Maybe I'll trim off over here too. Over here. There we go. There we go. Here's my rainbow river.
I'm gonna go to Lily. She has her hand raised.
Yeah. Hey, Lily.
Hi. So far I've done this.
Oh, nice. That's looking good so far. You found some good colors. Where are you finding your colors from?
This magazine.
A magazine, yeah. Cool. Awesome. That looks great.
Thanks.
I like you guys are working together. Nice.
Some of the gluing.
Yeah, that can be the tricky part. Getting all my fingers are covered in glue right now. All right, awesome. Nice job. Oh, Megan said that that's amazing so far. Lily, so nice job. Oh, hi, Kaden. I didn't even see you. Join us. Welcome. Good to see you. The not so fun part of collaging is the cleanup afterwards. You have to pick up all the little pieces and toss all the little pieces away. I like when I work, I try to keep a trash can right beside me so that I can just, with one hand, toss any of the little pieces in the trash. Although if you're super thrifty and creative, you can save big pieces in like a box, a scrap bin box. If you like collage and you like cutting things out and gluing them, I have a box that I keep over here that is just filled with like little pieces of paper. Whoa, Megan, look at that. You did an M for Megan. Wow, that came out beautiful. Look at that. I like that like green, like almost like emerald color you found. And I also like that you did it as an M. Very clever. That looks great.
Thank you.
Nice job. Really nice job.
Here's Soren.
Soren, did you find some more colors?
So I said if I had it on, I'd raise my digital hand. So here I am, and I added it on. So I decided to add on this is rocket boosters. His feet are rocket boosters. So these two are his feet, and they're rocket boosters. And I added like this big piece here.
Whoa!
And I think this big piece is like a shield.
It's a so is it like a robot with a rocket booster and a shield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
No, so this board has a sword that can blast lasers. And so this is a missile launcher on the sword. I mean on the shield, and then the shield can automatically has a tip, and that tip's called the shield tip. He can use it like as a sword and to defend himself.
You should add in a face with some eyes and a mouth.
Oh, that just gave me an idea. I'm going to do that quickly.
Awesome. Oh, let's see, Soren. Where'd you add in the face?
So it's kind of a little too light.
No, it's a little hard to see, yeah, on the camera.
You
But
see these like circles?
Oh yeah, I can see the 2 circles on the blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So his mouth is like crazy. So it has a mod sign up here, and then his mouth is all the way here.
Soren, Megan just said that you should work for the Avengers. That's very cool. I like this. I like your. I like what you turned yours into.
I think the face should be like crazy.
Okay. Why don't you work on that? Okay.
Wait,
Awesome.
I think I'm almost done with it.
Okay.
I'm already done. This is the face.
Okay.
I mean, it looks crazy.
Nice. Nice.
Sorry. Go back.
Oh, no worries. No worries. There we go. Cool.
I made it look crazy funny. I made it look funny.
Yeah, Megan says you should work for the Avengers because you make super crazy hero villain things. You do. You have a theme.
Actually, I didn't basically make this a super crazy hero guy. I just made it like this randomly.
Yeah, but that seems to be a theme through your work. You like hero villains with like robotics and like shields and swords. It's a theme. You have a theme through your work. Awesome. Liliana and Heather Rose, are you guys ready to share any of your work or not yet? Oh, I see you're still working on
finding
blue.
any purples.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we really only just started putting things together, but
no worries, no worries. I see you girls are working hard. Yeah, for some reason purples were hard to find. I wonder why purples are so rare in magazines. Strange. I'd never noticed that before when you're looking through a catalog or a magazine that purples are rare. Oop, sorry, that was my fault. Switch to this. There we go. Well, here was my finished piece. So you could give it a name. You could, if you wanted to add something to it, you could turn this into like a whole collage. Like it kind of would be cool to add some drawing on top of this, turn it into something. Don't know yet what.
Lily says it was hard for us to find purple too.
Yeah, purple is it's a theme. Purples were challenging. You know, I'm just going to turn mine into this an abstract piece. So,
is it okay if I leave the Zoom meeting early?
Yeah, if you're done, totally, Soren. No worries. Hopefully, we'll see you later this week. Okay.
Bye.
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 So I'm just turning mine into an abstract piece. I'm going to do like some different line designs. It looks like a piece of stained glass or something to me now. Let's see. Hold on. baby tiny magazines. Yeah. So I'm just gonna doodle on mine. I'm gonna take a pen. Oh, that would be cute. I agree, Megan. I'm just gonna take a pen. I'm gonna add some designs to mine because sometimes it's kind of a nice contrast to have some like line designs that are in black and white next to something that's super colorful, like our color wheel. We have a few minutes left.
Oh, here's Lily.
Lily, let's see. Wow, Lily, that came out amazing.
Thanks.
Look at the colors in that. That's so pretty.
Thanks.
Really nice work, girls. That's awesome. All right.
For the yellows, we only have 2 yellows, and one of them is like a gold ball.
That's cool. I actually like the spiky yellow piece that you have coming out.
Thanks. Because we have like scissors that only cuts.
Oh yeah, the funny scissors. Yeah, they cut like zigzags. Yeah, those are cool.
Thanks.
Well, they came out really neat. Thanks again for showing us your ducklings too. You're so cute. You're so cute.
Tell them about them.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, I'm looking at the clock and it's, oh my gosh, it's past 11. It's 11:03. So anybody who hasn't shared, would you like to share with us? Ooh, wow, that came out beautiful, girls. Beautiful. Oh, I like that I can see grapes. And that's like, it has good texture. It gives it a good texture. Really nice. Nice work.
Thank you.
It's really hard to find purple because maybe it's not very catchy.
I don't know why it's hard to find purple. It's just tricky.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who would like to share?
Here's Liliana and Heather Rose.
Yeah. Hey, girls. I know you're not totally done, but show us what you got so far.
Is it okay if next week when we finish, we show our finished projects too?
Oh, totally. You mean like like tomorrow you want to share?
Yeah, tomorrow. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Will you remind me right right as soon as I come in, you come in, remind me that you want to share. That looks awesome. Okay. I'll try to remember too though. I love that. That looks
roses. Hang on, let me just finish. Okay.
Oh wow. Look how clean your line is. That's beautiful. Oh, you might have to add another piece of paper because you might run out of some space there. It's okay. Just tape another piece of paper to it and make it longer.
All right.
Because you found so many good colors. All right. Anybody else who would like to share?
Kaden and then Megan.
Kaden, yeah. Hi, Kaden.
So I'm not finished yet, but
Ooh, that's nice though. I like the shape that were you just doing like a spiral like I did, like the river?
Yeah.
But it looks really cool. It looks almost like a bird or something, like a swan from the shape that you have right now. I don't know. It looks really neat. You have found some really good colors. Nice work. Nice work, Kaden.
I just use scrap paper.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, you got to use what you have. That's like how all artists think. Is you have to like be creative with your materials. Megan, do you want to reshare? Sure, share, Megan. Oh, nice. That looks awesome.
I'm gonna try to clean off the edge.
Okay, cool. Awesome. But I like that you've outlined it and given it like a border. Very nice. All right. Last call for sharing because it is 11:05.
Here's Nissy.
Nissy, let's see.
Okay, so mine is like this. It's supposed to be for my teacher because it's Teacher Appreciation Week.
Oh, it is. Oh my gosh, she's gonna love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You did it almost like.
Add some brown up here.
Okay.
Add some yellow. Yeah.
some yellows. But that looks beautiful. Really good work. I like the shape that you did too.
Thank you.
Nice job. Okay, last call. Okay, all right, guys. You all did a really amazing job. I love these color wheels or color rivers or color birds or whatever it is that you did. All right, hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.